So when was Musica established?
Musica Kirklees, it's actually, the organisation's been around for a long time, but Musica Kirklees itself came into existence in 2016. We had a rebrand because we used to be Kirklees Music School, and that was at a time when we had lots of links with the council. Before that, we were actually part of the council as a music service that was organised by them, but now we're a completely separate organisation, and so Musica Kirklees itself had a rebrand and a relaunch in 2016.
Okay. Could you tell me about the Music Education Hub?
Yeah, the hub is a virtual thing, really. We as Musica Kirklees are the lead organisation for the hub, and we have an advisory forum which meets every term, and that's called from people who are involved in music in schools, at the university, and the council as well, so that we bring together lots of people who are sort of the movers and shakers in the music world in Kirklees. And the idea is that through partnership working, we deliver more than any of us could deliver as individuals. So the idea is that we actually, team up with other people, and we put the young person's musical journey at the centre of everything that we do. So if I was to think about a child who's involved in, really wants to follow down the rock route, then we can direct them to, maybe they could go to one of our rock schools, or they could go and do some work at the parish, or they could, all sorts of ways of teaming up with other people, so that basically whatever journey a young person wants to follow musically, they can do. But we as Musica Kirklees don't have to deliver everything, just have to make sure that it's a sort of joined up world. There's a lot of work to be done in that area, and it's something that we're constantly building and trying to create new partnerships and work with new groups of musicians and other art forms as well.
What is your lookout on including people with disabilities or different races and genders?
Yeah, the nice thing about our work in schools is that basically, because schools are set up to work with everybody, that's what we're able to do. So we can go in, sometimes there are challenges about how do you adapt an instrument, and sometimes it's making sensible choices. If you know that playing the violin is going to use really fine motor control for both hands, then it might not be the right instrument for somebody to play. So, but you do find the sort of the right instrument for them. So yeah, and I think the way we work now with in pretty much every school in Kirklees means that we've had to adapt as well. So in terms of things like you're working in a school with lots of South Asian children in it, we do lots of singing work, we do lots of work with nasheeds. You have to recognise that at Ramadan you can't play instruments, and therefore you do something different, and you might involve the singing more and the non-pitched instruments more, that sort of thing. So it's always a learning curve for us, but in terms of wanting to be involved in everything, there's basically no way we want to exclude everybody, and actually anybody. And one of the things that we're trying to do at the moment is we're developing an inclusion policy. We've just engaged somebody to come and work with us on seeing where are the gaps, because it's always about looking at yourself and being sort of inward looking and saying, well, what are we doing well, but also what do we need to improve on? So yeah, always looking to improve.
Is there anything I haven't asked about that you want to share?
The thing that is important to us is that this kind of support for the arts goes on. There's been, over the last 10 years, there's been a little bit of a squeeze of the arts in schools, and I think there's been a problem in terms of all the emphasis on the STEM subjects and on things like Progress 8 that have been in schools, so that people really have been concentrating on electronics, science, technology, all those sorts of things. And I think what people like Ofsted have realised is that we are denying our young people access to something which actually makes them feel good about themselves, and the arts are the things that can create rounded human beings. The only thing I would say is that I think that there needs to be a real push for that kind of thing. I think it's incumbent on us to push for it. It's important for businesses to try and support what's going on, even if they're sponsoring music going on in a school or something like that. Things, different ways of working, but certainly to make sure that the arts are seen as just as important as every other subject that's in schools. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.